Not a video I wanted to make, but the one you're going to get today. I broke my car. You might be able to see some parts down on the ground over here. That's my head. It's from the, I guess, right bank if you're looking at the engine. So I was driving. I ended up pulling up to a car park, went in, had some food somewhere, and then when I've come back out, the car wouldn't start, and we couldn't work out why. We decided to roll start it, which got the car going. It did take a bit of effort, but we got the car going. And then when I have started driving home, which isn't a far drive, it's probably 10 minutes. Car couldn't hold idle. I realized something was pretty bloody wrong at that point, and have decided to try and just get home as quick as I could. Car shut off a few times and managed to keep the car rolling and just roll started it just to get it home. We have some video actually, the biggest coolant cloud behind the car, so I knew I'd probably broken a head gasket. Returned home and then found that when I took off what I thought was the correct side, I took the head off, I did notice that one of the head bolts was pretty loose, and then have looked into that and found that the thread in the block was stripped. So I put it down to the head gasket breaking on that side, and then I've put in a time cert, which is similar to a helicoil, just a bit stronger. And when I've put that time cert in, I've put the new head gasket on, the head back on, got the whole car back together. I flushed all of the oil because it was all milky. Flushed the coolant and then put the whole car, back to one piece, filled it with coolant, ran some oil. Noticed that it kept just pushing milk out of the turbo feed. So decision was made to pull the other head off, and when I've discovered that the bore has cracked in two places, on cylinder 3, I believe. I've also found that the piston crown, I don't know, the top of it has broken off as well. So it looks like the rings have done this. Rings have expanded under heat because it's a unopened block with a turbo attached to it. So it looks like it's popped the top of the piston off as well as broken the bore. This engine's toast. I know I can recover this and probably put it all back together by putting a new sleeve in it. But it's more cost effective just to find another block. So I'm on the hunt at the moment for a new block, but in the meantime, this is as good of a time as any to just to pull the whole thing apart and go to powder coat. The plan here would be to do a quick series on me ripping the car down and going over the components I have, which would be nice. I think a lot of you guys would appreciate that. But also tidy up a bunch of the welding and add in, like, the rear air jacks aren't in the car yet. I haven't been able to start welding those in. So that kind of stuff, we're just to make it neat and tidy before it goes to powder coat. I'm gonna get stuck into it straight away. I need to tidy up the engine stuff first because I don't want that to get damaged and in the way. So we'll find some space. I probably have to clear the shelf out a little bit, and we'll find some space for all the engine components that I have. We'll start probably ripping it off from the rear, I think. I think it's probably the nicer way to go. I will need a hand pulling the engine out. So if we start from the rear, let's go and drain the fuel and probably pull the wing off, as well as some of the lighting stuff. All right, and taking the rear off, let's start with, let's drain the fuel. Let's get the fuel out of the system and into another car. And there you have it. It looks really weird to not have, like, the fuel tank, but also, like, the back of the car looks odd without the wing. These Exocets really do need a giant wing. This is my bonnet, so you can kind of ignore this. This is just a good place for it to sit at the moment. But yeah, it changes the shape of the car completely when you don't have the wing on there. So yeah, next up, we're going to have to obviously get all this wiring out, the power steering. So this is from a Holden Astra. It's a pretty common mod. So I'll remove that power steering, probably need to drain it from the front, which means the car needs to be in the air. And then next up would be blowing out the oil cooler lines, just because they'll be full of milk now. And then removing the harnesses, removing the seats. I've got to get the dash out because I don't want that to get damaged. And then all the buttons set and everything. So all this stuff is just going to take time. I'll kind of rip away at it as I go. And do little tiny fixes like, you know, maybe make the hole big enough for the plug to come out of. But otherwise, this is a journey that I had to take. The cage, you know, as you can see, is kind of starting to rust, and it's all this little surface kind of shit. So we'll get everything off and roll it around the front yard, just cleaning up the welds, and then we can go to powder coat. And hopefully in that time, I will have another engine. All right, had a bit of a shave, day 2. I'm gonna pull the interior out today. So we'll pull the seats out. I'll probably get all the extinguisher mount out and all that kind of stuff, as well as I want to get the dash out. I don't want that to get damaged, so that can come out too. Maybe the computers will come out, and I'll lay the intake back down so I can actually work on the car. But I'll hopefully have the car empty by the end of today, which would be really nice. And then we can focus on the mechanical side, which is like the engine, gearbox, and subframes. So yeah, we'll get stuck into that. Put a bit of a time lapse on now. Well, I have to say for day 2, that's pretty good progress. It didn't take me too long to do that. Handbrakes out and all that kind of stuff. I still have to take the mirror off that side, as well as the quad lock mount, and then drop the steering. But I'm not going to do that until I pull the engine and everything out. So all this can kind of stay here until I get onto the engine. Still got some wiring in the back to pull through, but I'll probably wait till I lift the whole cage off of the subframes. So yeah, we're pretty good with where we're at. This is really good progress. I'm still toying with the idea of removing the alloy floor and welding a steel floor on there. The alloy floor comes with the kit, but the steel floor is just a bit more insurance, you know, in case something does bounce under the car. But overall, that's pretty good. It's looking very bare now and very ugly. Like, obviously you can see I've just canned, you know, all this kind of stuff just to kind of give it some kind of coat. But yeah, I'm okay with where we're at. That's good progress. So tomorrow, maybe not tomorrow, but in the very near future, I'll be pulling the engine out with help from some friends. All the radiator, intercooler, all that kind of stuff will come out. Turbo obviously has to come out, and then wiring tray and all the wiring needs to leave the body as well. After that, it's going to be pretty much ready to just kind of tidy up all these welds, make it all look nice and uniform, ready for powder coat. If you can't tell, I'm actually stupid excited about having this in pieces. I'm surprised how quickly that came apart. But yeah, follow along if you're keen. I'm going to be posting a lot more on YouTube now, because this is kind of long form stuff more than Instagram. So feel free to subscribe. You'll see a lot more come out as I take this guy, focus, apart.